Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the online classes of Malwa School. This is a video for Chapter 3 of History and Civics for Class 7. Today, in this, we will start the chapter 3, the Turkish invasions. Means when the uh, rulers of Turkey they try to invade India. So, let's begin this chapter. Uh, Turks basically they invaded India during the 11th century after the demise of Harshvardhan, and that of the time India was divided in many of the small kingdoms. So that time it was a great opportunity for them to take the advantage for this because India was not in a uh, in the hands of a big power. That's why that they tried to invade India, and the main reason behind the invasion was the wealth of India. Actually, as we all know that time India was known as the uh, that wealthy country, which was very popular in the world. So when uh, the lack of a big power in India, that the Turkey rulers that they try to invade India. So in this, that the first name is here Mahmud of Ghazni. Mahmud of Ghazni, he was the first Turkish invader. He became the Sultan of Ghazni in 1998. His main aim was to make Ghazni a powerful kingdom. So for this, he need wealth as much as he can. So he needed a large army and a lots of resources. So he turned towards India because here there the temples were having that huge wealth. So he invaded India 17 times over the period of 26 years between 1001 to 1026. So his first invasion was in 1001, and it was not difficult for Muhammad to invade India, as I told you earlier that there were not big powers in India. So the lack of this that gave the opportunity to Mahmud of Ghazni. So his early targets were the rulers like Jaipal and Anandpal. They ruled the area between Punjab and Afghanistan. Mahmud secured large tributes from them. Then he attacked the rich temple cities like Nagarkot, Multan, and Thanesar. He plundered that the huge amount of gold, and it was that quite good for him to make his country powerful. And Mahmud, the bravest attack was against Kanauj and Mathura because there the many temples were there which was full of wealth, gold, and other things. So in 1026, he raided and looted the Somnath temple. This was his 16th raid, and it was of great importance. The ruler of Gujarat fought very bravely but lost. So Mahmud ransacked the temple. Ransacked means उसको लूट लेना, सारा कुछ वहाँ से ले लेना. So Mahmud was successful because he was a well-organized general. He planned in advance and take care of all the needs of his soldiers. So Mahmud was not interested in establishing an empire because his main concern was there to get the wealth from here and to use that wealth to make his own country powerful. His so he also established a university in Ghazni also because he was getting that much wealth from here. Mahmud of Ghazni patronized several soldiers, artists and poets. Patronized means अपने यहाँ उनको गुलाम बना के रखना. So Al-Biruni was his court writer. He wrote a book Kitabul Hind in which that the a detailed that history is written about his most of the invasions. This book tells about various aspects of Indian life. Firdausi was that Muhammad's court poet. He wrote Shahnama, and Mahmud invited soldiers from many places. And after this, that Ghazni became a prosperous city. It matched the glory of Baghdad because that time Baghdad was a big city. And Ghazni wanted that his own country or city should be much wealthy and much more powerful like the other cities. So he make his own country like powerful like Baghdad. Before his death in 1130, he annexed Punjab also. Uh, it was made the uh, earthenmost province of his empire, easternmost province. And after his death, India was not invaded for more than a century, because after that, no one else was interested in India, because a huge wealth was taken away from India by Muhammad Ghazni. After Muhammad Ghazni, that next invader who came to India, he was Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori was the ruler of Ghor. Ghor was a kingdom which we can say nowadays is in Afghanistan. The rulers of Ghor were vassals of Mahmud of Ghazni. Moizuddin Muhammad, who is popularly known as Muhammad Ghori in history, made Ghor independent after the death of Mahmud. He went a step ahead and established control over all the Ghaznavid territories. Ghaznavid means the territories of Ghazni Empire. He controlled all the territories of that Ghazni Empire. And Muhammad Ghori became powerful. Thereafter, he planned to conquer and plunder wealth. So then only that someone is able to invade any of the area if he is powerful from the behind. So that thing that he did over there, India was attacked again after 150 years. It was invaded and captured in 1175. He conquered Peshawar, Sialkot and Punjab in 1190. During this time in 1178, the great Prithviraj Chauhan ascended the throne of Ajmer. He was a brave warrior. He defeated the Chandels and occupied Delhi. And he was a big problem for Mahmud Ghori. Both Prithviraj and Ghori desired to control Punjab, because that time Punjab was a big area, and it was a fertile area from where any of the ruler could earn a huge money or a huge wealth. So this was the reason that they conflict between, and there were two battles between them. These two battles are known as the Battle of Thrain. First battle was fought in 1191 and second was in 1192. So these are popularly known as the battles of Thrain, which are 80 miles away from Delhi now at present. These two battles were very fearful. So, in the first battle of that Thrain, Prithviraj inflicted a crushing defeat on Muhammad Ghori. So, Prithviraj took no efforts to expel the Ghoris from Punjab. This proved to be a blunder, because he didn't try that they should that go away from there. So he had better plans and was well prepared later on. So Prithviraj Chauhan appealed to all the Rajas of northern India for their support to drive away the enemy. All agreed, but the most powerful Rajput ruler, Raja Jayachandra of Kanauj, stayed away from the confederacy. So that was a big problem for him. That again, then after a year in 1192, there was again battle between both of them, and this battle is known as the second battle of Thrain, which was held in 1192. And under this, that Qutbuddin Aibak, one of the Muhammad's slave and journal, and Bakhtiar Qazi, they have written here, Bakhtiar Khalzi, were made in charge of the conquered territories. Muhammad Ghori is known as the founder of Turkish ruler in India, because he just invaded India. When he was going back to his own Turkish empire, he made Qutbuddin Aibak and Bakhtiar Khalzi that the rulers of his territories over India. So Mahmud Ghori was killed when he was crushing these revolts. After the death of Muhammad Ghori, a powerful struggle started among the generals, as he had no sons. And it's natural when any of the ruler is having no son, then the whosoever is next to him, they tried to conquer the throne. So same thing happened. That time Kutubuddin Aibak, he was in India, and he took the opportunity with both the hands, and he tried to control the area of India. And after this, that the slave dynasty was started in India. Next is here that the failure of Indian rulers, that why that the Indian rulers failed in this. First is here that the lack of unity among the Indian rulers. As we read earlier in the before the second battle of Traim, Prithviraj Chauhan, that he asked for the other kings to help him, but they were not ready. So that was the first reason. Second, weakness of the Indian society. In Indian society, that there was a lack of that big rulers, and there was a problems of caste and other aspects. So they were not getting together with each other, and basically that the faulty political system, because we were not having any king who could control that the whole India. So political system was not good in that of the time. uh, Inferior military art of Indian rulers, as Indians were using that the old methods, using the elephants, horses, and all other things. On the other hand, when these rulers came to India, they were having that the different kind of uh, armaments and all other things. So Indian rulers, that they lost this battle. And last is here that the impact of Turkish invasion. So this invasion started the Muslim ruler over India. The new ruling class followed the religion called Islam, and after this, that only that the Islam religion came to India. These invaders also brought Islamic Arabic culture, that the mix-up of all the cultures was seen here. The new culture and customs intermingled with the old traditions of India, and it gave a new culture which is known as the composite culture, that we will also study that in our next chapters. Besides, invasions opened up the Indian subcontinents for migration, because many of the other rulers tried to conquer India. People came to India as the traders and soldiers in large numbers. Gradually, they adopted the Indian way of life, as the living standard was a good way to live over here. So next, what students you have to do in this, you have to read that the parts I have left over here, that like Muhammad of Ghazni versus Muhammad Ghori. Uh, a short story is here about a popular tale about Prithviraj Chauhan. So you have to read it by your own. That's all with today's chapter. Try the book work, and I will send you that the question answer that you have to do on your notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.